all my crafty friends. Nana Kaye here with NanaKayeDesigns.com and the Ultra Book Nook on Etsy.com. I am extremely frustrated, so bear with me on this thing. Every time I think I've got this whole system in the shop working right, something goes haywire, and for some reason, when I record a video now, my media player is saying it's not compatible or whatever, and I've done nothing. So it must be an update that Windows normally does. You know, it really would be nice if they would quit updating without asking, so I would know where the problem was. It's just so frustrating. I hate Windows. I despise it. I really think Microsoft is going to lose it. I think I am going to Apple. Hate to spend the money to start over, but I'm trying to build a business, and you know, if Apple can offer me better, I'm just going to have to do it. It's just driving me nuts. I have started the same video right here 3 times. But, guys, bear with me. We'll do it again, and let's see if we can get Media Player to play it so I know that it's doing right before I try to edit the video. But anyway, let's go for it. This is Nana Kaye again, and what I am trying to make is part 3 of our series, Nana Kaye's Journey to a True Junk Journal. I've never done a true junk journal, and when I'm calling it what I'm calling a true junk journal may not even be what some other people call a junk journal. But what we're going to be doing is using 12 by 12 pads that I've had in storage 2 or 3 years. We're going to be using pieces of scrap from kits that I have made myself. I'm going to be using tags and things that I pre-prepped, using scrap pieces of paper. I'm going to be using ephemera and fussy cuts, from kits that I have purchased from other people. We're going to be making all kinds of little tags and elements, and we're going to be using ribbon, and of course my Berry Arts glue, my distress inks, just a lot of things that I consider stuff that's just laying around my shop that have no particular purpose. I may even be pulling down things like this. See, I've got pack after pack of these where I have printed off kits, put my journal together, and I've got leftover pieces, and I'm going to use them up. My shop is, I wish I really could give you a view. My shop is to the point now that I can be using something and lay it down and it disappears because there is so much stuff. And I've got to downsize. I don't even honestly, other than glue and printing paper, I can't think of anything else for other than Fabri-Tac, printing paper, and my Berry Arts glue. I probably don't have to buy a single thing for the next 2 years. We'll see. I don't think I am going to buy me that new laser printer from Ford. I'm getting ready to order it. Saved up my $1,100, and I'm getting ready. I think it's called Aura, A-U-R-A, but I'm getting ready to order my laser printer anyway. That's my next big goal. But anyway, let's get back to this, and let's just hope that the video is going to work this time. I hate to toss it all out, but anyway, today, as you know, we already done, this part 2 was doing this beautiful stack that we did here on the front page of the first of the 4. We're doing 4. These are the 4 base signatures that we're using. These are the bases. They're cut with the 12 by 12 paper on heavy cardstock because they're going to carry a lot of weight. As you see this one, just holding it up, you see it's right chunky. It's a little chunky monkey all by itself. Okay, but we're going to keep on with this first signature until we get it completed. And I'm even going to I've got some pages that's going to get added to the center of this. And we'll go over that, of course. I've laid them aside too, and I don't know where I laid them, but it's not important right now. It's not important right now because we're not going to work on the inside right this minute. We're going to work on the back side of the first base. The first thing I did, as you see, my lined paper that come out of 'Tis the Season. This was the paper from the 'Tis the Season, the lined paper. It is a journal, so I like a lot of lined paper for writing. And I took an 8 by 12. And I took and found my center and folded both of these wings to the center. Okay, and we're going to make some kind of a closure or something, and these wings are going to open. There's going to be pockets over here, maybe some more writing paper slip or something on this side. We're going to make a side panel flip here, pocket here with a flip up. On the side over here, we done the top with a flip up. We're going to do it on the side this time here, and we're going to make a lot of journaling spots, hidden journaling spots in this one little thing here. And I'm hoping we don't have to fold it, but we may need to go give it a little bit more of a line, and just in case, not that I really think we're going to have it, but I'm going to be safe. And I'm actually going to take my, this particular color of mine has a scoring. And the reason I don't use this one is exactly right here, because it's so hard to open sometimes. Okay, and I'm going to come in here, and I am going to score just a tiny bit, maybe a 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, something like that. But I'm going to score it right there. I'm going to score that. That way, if I have to have that just that little bit more space, and sometimes these are not easy to refold once you've got them, but I'm going to try to fold it back first on that score line that I just did, and I think I was able to do it. And then fold it back this way. And as you see, it's not much. It's just a little bit of a score line here. I'm trying to put my glasses on to make sure I've got it folded. And folded there. Oh, that's the new score line. Well, let's try that. We need to get it on that. And that gives me just about an 1/8, I think it is. About 1/8 of an inch. But that'll give me a little bit more depth in that thing. And it may not completely close my two panels, so I don't know. And it looks like they're going to overlap a little, but that's okay. You know what? We can cut some off if we have to. But let's go in and do the other side now. We're going to do a little bit of a trim on that one too. Just about 1/8 of an inch on the inside. On the inside line, y'all, about 1/8 of an inch, and let's score it. Score it. Even if it overlaps, it'll be fine. Okay. Yep, I got a little bit of, so let's try to get that one folded now. That is a dilly sometimes, these little teeny folds, but that's okay. Just keep pressing till you get it. If you have problems doing this, you can get your ruler. When they're really tiny like this, you can put your ruler right at the fold line. And watch my head if it's in the way, I'm sorry. But this is intricate work, so I have to get my face down here where I can see it. And sometimes I can just do this. And that'll bring it on up using my fingernail. Oh, and I feel like I just punched it a little bit. Gotta be careful. Okay, and that gives me a little bit of a fold there too, see? So that's good. Gotta get it back the other way now, because we're gonna cover these two flaps, these wings. I call these wings. I don't know what anybody else calls things when they overlap like that, but these are my side wings. Okay, so there we go. That gives me a little bit of space to put something in. So, and it overlaps just tiny, but this is not going to hurt anything. Okay, let's put the scoring board back over here out of the way. All right, back to this. We're not going to go ahead and glue this, but when we do, we're just going to glue the 3 edges, because we're going to have a big pocket right here. And I might glue it just halfway and put another one underneath, but I don't really like bottom pockets, so we'll see how that goes, because I would love a great big journaling card in here. But you know me, I love the big journaling cards. All right, so let's set this aside for a minute, and let's work on this. I've already cut my pocket that I want to go on the inside, and I cut it so that I had a little bit of more space up here, and I don't really need it. After I got it cut off, I didn't need that much space. I could have left it smaller. So I'm just going to divide it between the two, here and here. And I'm going to make a side pocket here. So I need to go more towards this side with this and give me space to pull something out. So this will go right here. And then I wanted to have I want to have a piece that flips up and folds over. Now, to find the piece I had cut. Oh, that's unbelievable. Okay, here it is. This is the piece I was working on when the film went down a while ago, or the camera went down on me a while ago. I want this one to lay on top of that on this page, and you're just going to see a little bit of the stack. So this is what's happening. We're building a stack here, and this will open up, and there'll be writing spots and things inside here, and maybe another pocket. Who knows what we're going to end up with, because we're just doing this as we go. It's trial and error. We are just making it as we go. So I'm going to bring that one down about to there. I want about the same space here and here. And then I'm going to want about the same space at the top too. So we're going to go to about right there. It's a little more. I think we're going to have to go a little higher there. And this is all really, look at it. You want it to be eye-pleasing to you aesthetically. So you just kind of put it where you want it. I always try to make a mark that I don't want it there. I want it right about there. Okay, so we're going to take our cutter, get my line where I can see it again. It's getting a little dark in here. It's a Sunday afternoon, and I don't have much light coming in, and I purposely didn't turn my overhead because sometimes it brings a bad shadow, but I got a shadow anyway, so I guess it wasn't going to hurt it to turn my tube lighting on overhead. But let's just deal with it like it is, guys. And for some reason, it's too thick on that end to start cutting it from that side. So I want to make sure I'm level. And I'm going to just, there we go. All right. This is the piece we need to keep. We can save this for another flap later on. Trust me, we'll probably use 100 flaps before this book is done. All right. So that one's going to go. That one's actually going to glue down on the back of this one. So I'm going to center first. I'm going to center this one into here. Okay, this is my pocket. Well, I like that side better. I like that better than I do that pattern. So we're going to keep it there. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, so see, that's what happens sometimes. You change your mind as you're going. I'm going to try to center this piece, this pocket into this flap like this. And then we're just going to glue it. And these are both done with relatively heavily cardstock. Reason being, we are going to be adding more pockets and flips to these two. So you want them pretty strong. And now I can go right across here and get it glued completely down right there. Okay. Now I didn't glue it here and here because we want this to flip up. So be careful when you're gluing it. If you just glue it the way I just glued it. I did it that way so that I know that I've got it still room to flap it open. Okay, then I'm going to come in here, right here, and I'm going to glue this down. And I'm only going to glue it 3 sides, right here, here, and here. All right, so we're going to glue it here, across here. Oh, y'all see, I'm sorry, we're going to glue 3 sides here, across here, and here. I didn't mean to hit my glue, y'all. Getting carried away with my glue, aren't I? I got to let that dry a second. This is a pocket. We don't want no glue inside. Try it again where y'all can see it, because it doesn't look like the glue came out in some of the spots. I want it right on the edge of that. And as I said earlier, guys, y'all are seeing this being made as I'm doing this too. Now, I do see one thing we got to fix. It's minor, but we got to fix it. And I may have to cut off for a minute and go get me some washi tape. Because it's not going to matter. That'll just be a stop. We're not even going to worry about that. What's going to happen is whatever I slide in here could stop here, but that's okay. We'll just make our card where that'll work that way. Okay, I'm going to close it back down, and I want to start getting it centered back on this page, trying to keep pretty much a balance of gap between everything. Okay, here we go. All right. That's the edge. That's the edge. I want to keep pushing this down because we want this to lay flat. Now, if this does not lay as flat as I want it, I'll put a twist here. But right now, I think we're okay. All right, this is going to flap up. All right, and I'm really not liking this little bit of gap here, but we'll probably put something here. We'll get there. We'll just see what happens. Matter of fact, I really do think I like the thought of putting a piece of that glossy, shiny. I had some shiny that I used on the other one. Of course, I like the matte too. I like the matte piece. How's that going to look sticking? It's not going to stick out, is it? It just sticks out above that pocket. All right, I want that pretty shiny piece that I had on the other one, and I cannot believe that let me get that. Don't see it. This is so frustrating. Too much stuff. Like I said, too much stuff. There's a piece of it. Don't know if it's tall enough, though. That's the problem. I don't think it's going to be. It's not tall enough. And I've already bent it. But I like that edging. Right there like that. Or we could come out here. No, all right, let's lay this aside. If I can find another piece of this, which I have thousands of pieces of these pads of paper, I am sure there's some more back there somewhere with some shiny on it that I can use. I'm just looking to make sure. I don't know if y'all can hear me. I'm sitting back a little away from the microphone. All right, let's just leave it for now. All right, so what we've got now, we've already got this pocket here, which we glue to that will be in this pocket. Now we've got this pocket. Now we've got this inside that we've got to put something in here. And the question is, do we want another pocket or do we want a flip up, a matchbox? Yeah, maybe a matchbox design or just a piece of journaling paper. That's a possibility. And this one's already got a flap on it. I think that's what I'm going to go with. I've got a whole book of this right here. Yeah, there's my book. And these are already in signatures, so I'm going to go in and find my next center, which is right there. And go and clip all that. So I can pull out some more of these papers. I like these little papers like this. And this one's got two lines, so I mean two strings, I guess, to give this book sturdiness. I got these books at Ollie's. Just these little blank journals at Ollie's. Same place I get my spiral notebooks that I alter is Ollie's. Okay, so I've got that done. Pull out my 2 pages and gently pull it from there. I've got a nice clean piece. Lay my old one aside. And we're going to make a flip up here. So now we got a flip out this way, and we're going to have a flip up this way. And we're going to cut it. And this is going to be strictly a journaling piece here on the inside. The funny thing about these type of journals is that I could just keep adding flips and flips and flips, and next thing you know, you got a really big old fat bulky item. But you know what? I love adding all these little secret spots and flips and things. Okay, on this one, we're going to put that right there. We'll decorate the top of it. We'll put some kind of clip art on it. This is going to open up to here. And matter of fact, guys, let's make it have 2 or 3 sheets in there. What do y'all say? What's it going to hurt to have a couple more sheets in there? I think that'll be pretty. Let's pull it from this one. That one just wanted to be a little stubborn. So I'll pull another one out of there. Let me do one more. I probably won't use it the next one, but I'm going to go ahead and pull it out because it does come in sets of 3 or 4. And I just want to make sure I'm equal here. should be right there. Okay, that popped out. All right, let's do it this way. We're going to do 3 of them in here. I'm going to stack them back together like this. And this is how they were in the book. Stack just like that. Really want to push it down that center there before I cut it. All right, let's get the cutting board again. Get it back to where we were cutting it, and let's try to cut it as even as we can. This one to chew a little, okay. And it marked it a little bit, but that's okay. And now we're going to come back, and because it was stacked, it's got the pages are a little bit off, which gives me another idea. All right, I don't like the way that corner just did. All right, the pre-cut cutter doesn't like the thickness, but that's okay. It's going to have to deal with it. All right, now, I'll put that there. Now, what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to stack this one. I think I'm going to make a pocket right here with this one. Okay, on this page, it's going to be a pocket right here. Okay, then we're going to flip that one up, and we want to see where that pocket came to, which was right there. We want to make it drop a little bit, so I'm going to make another little pocket right here on this one. Okay, make sure it's straight. Okay, so there's a pocket, there's a pocket. I'm going to fold this pocket in again just to make it a little thicker, so when we're pulling stuff in and out, it looks nice. So I'm doing a complete inward fold on that pocket. Don't have to do it on that one because that's already about the right height. Okay, so there's another. So there's a pocket, and a flip up, and a pocket, and a flip up. And we got one more, and I don't think I'm going to have enough space to make it a pocket. So we're just going to, let's put it down. Let me measure. Put it up just about that much. I want it to be about the same, so it'll look aesthetically correct. Okay, let's see how much space we gave it, which was right here. All right, so this one needs to cut off. Even if we don't make a pocket, we still want to get rid of this piece here. Okay, so we'll go back and cut it on the board. Right there on that line. I hope you can understand what I just did. I don't know how to explain it any other way. I'm just kind of making it a waterfall is what I'm really kind of creating here. A waterfall effect. This blade must be getting bad already, and I don't see why it would be doing that, but it sure is not being cooperative. Pre-cut, that is not good. I've not been using it that long. But you know, I kind of like that ragged edge, guys. I don't know if y'all like the ragged edge or not, but I kind of like it. Hey, it's a junk journal. I mean, you know, this looks pretty cool right there. Wow. And if we stain it, yeah, I love it. Looks like a torn piece. Okay, slide it back in to there. Okay, so let's go in and make our water glue. Let's glue these down. All right, this one needs, this flap here needs to be completely glued down. Let me try I'm in the camera, I'm sorry. Glue that one completely down like this, especially on that edge. That piece you want completely glued down. And then we just want to fold it up one more time. And we're just going to glue these edges, and we're going to make a little pocket there to stuff some writing paper in. Right there. We're going to decorate it with some fussy cuts. All right, and then our next pocket, which is right here. We don't have enough to carry it over, so we're going to have to be really careful with this pocket. We're just going to fold it here, put a line here, fold it up, And we've got a little pocket there for some more journaling space. And then we just got a blank piece with that raw edge on it and the bottom of the waterfall. So let's look at that. Now what we're going to do with this is we're going to actually make a little card. Okay, this is this one. This is this one. I think I want a little bit of a different color to go on that. I like this multicolored here. I don't want that heavy stock. We don't want really heavy color stock. Not going to go with that. Apologize. I'm trying to find another one. Lots of paper here. I love that one. I do like this floral print right here. Okay, so I'm going to make this where this folds over this just a little bit. So let's do a fold line, say about right there. Hopefully we can keep it straight across. Okay. Put this right here and close to the edge, but not completely on the edge. A little bit of a gap there. And then you're going to take your pencil and make a little bit of a gap on this side. And just a little bit right there and there. So let's see if the cutting board will cut this paper. It likes the thick paper. It doesn't like that thin paper though. Didn't like it at all. Like I said, it just may be getting dull. I can't believe it would be because I've just not recently started using it, but I probably use it more than I realize. Okay. All right, so there's that. And we're going to stitch this. So if you guys will give me just a minute, I'm going to go to my machine and I'm going to stitch that in, or either I'm going to hand stitch it. I can't decide which I want to do. I probably, since I'm wanting it, well, you know, junk journal does have a lot of stitching in it, but I think we're going to just hand stitch this. If I've got some thread up here that I can do that with. Excuse me, that was my scissor box falling over. Okay, this is my stitching kit. That's my book binding kit. Let's see if we got a piece of yarn up here. Oh, I got plenty of it on this side. Bear with me a minute. Let me grab the yarn pack. Plenty of it. All right, I'm going to go with the pink since that's what we're using here. Is pink mostly. Because I like that dark pink. I like this light pink too, though. Okay, we'll pull a piece of this off. Not purple. I'm not going to use purple right now. I'm just going to stitch our little book together right quick. A book within our page. Got to have this heavy eye. Got to make sure we're twisting this. And I don't know if I can. I may have to put glue. Sometimes I have to put glue on this. And we'll have to do it here. What that does is help hold all my strands together while I'm trying to thread it. But I have to mash it flat too to do that, to thread it. I don't think I'm getting what I want here, but we'll see. It's not wanting to stay together. And it might be too thick of a yarn or thread. We'll know in a minute. That's what I want though. Oh, we're going to have to try to cut it even. This is all part of the program, guys. It looks like I'm going to get it, I think. Oops, I spoke too soon, didn't I? Push it through, pull it, pull it, pull it. Didn't work. Try one more time. If not, we're going to go to a smaller thread. I got plenty of sewing machine thread here. But I really wanted this candy stripe. Just because I wanted something different. I know it's not fun watching me try to thread this needle. Let's see if I got a fatter needle. I might have, this one might be, I'll try it and see. Okay, come on. Got a little flatter that time. I don't know if I can get it. I may have to give this up, cut the video off, and go stitch it on my machine. Which is exactly what I'm going to do, because I'm not going to keep wasting your time and mine too. Be right back. And put this up. Sorry, but I got to get this out of the way, because I do not want to lose any parts to that. So put that back up. My machine started to chew up a little. So I hadn't used it in ages. My grandson's played with it, but I think we got it. We got it in there somehow. Cut the excess off. Now, that's ready to go on there. And I'm going to do the normal. I'm going to punch these pages, curve these pages here and here. And then we're going to put some kind of something up there. I'm not going to do that one, but I'm going to do it right here on this corner if I can. There. And up there. A little bit there and there. Okay, and then I'm going to do all these corners. The medium size. Then we'll stain it. So we're going to make a little booklet to go inside of this, on the back side of this stack. And yeah, this whole journal that we're working on now will be all page stacks, like we started this one out. Okay, that's that little jagged edge. And then I'm going to cut all these together. I think I can cut the rest of these pages together. No problem. Everything is rounded. Okay, it's going to take me a minute to stain it, but let's get it stained and then we'll worry about everything else. Okay, I got to take this and press. Okay. I'm going to glue it down. I'll get rid of all these excess pieces of yarn and stuff. And I may even put another piece of washi tape on for more design. But let's go ahead and stain. We're already in the 30 minutes on this thing. Even on the remake. I done that. Totally, no, I didn't. This is the way we wanted it. Okay, gosh, I thought I was thinking I had done it backwards, but that was the way we wanted it, wasn't it? Okay. It's a flip, but it's writing page flip. Okay. Definitely going to want a little bit of fussy cutting on some of these pages to give it a little bit of a, and I'm just going to do a little bit right there across that top to show that that's a pocket, and just a little bit across there to show that that's a pocket. And y'all know I like to stain a little bit sometimes pages. Okay. All right, there we go with this. We're going to go ahead and glue this one down. All right, this one's going to get glued in right there. So, and guess what, guys? We can make this a pocket up here too. All right, make sure that this is going to cover it. Okay, so that's another thing. Make sure if you're still trying to make this a hidden spot underneath here, right? You got to make sure you get this over some. Okay, and we're going to do this down close to the bottom, and we're only going to, I'm going to glue the three sides. Now, you guys can do what you want. If you don't, if you want it just to lay plastic can, you don't have to have another pocket. Me, as I told you, I get carried away making all these pockets and things for stuff to go into. I just think that makes it interactive. It makes it more intriguing when somebody's flipping through the journal. But again, you're making your own for yourself. Make it however you want. If you don't want all these little flips and flops and turns and extra cubby holes, don't put them in there. That's up to you. Okay, so we've got another place for a pocket up there. I don't want a lot sticking out from up there. We're going to want some. Okay, now I'm going to grab a piece of my other paper. And I'm going to put that right in this very back here. Or do I just want to do some stamping? Maybe. Maybe not. I'm going for it. I'm going for two things. I'm going to stain out this edge like so to get rid of that stark whiteness. You know, if you're following Nana Kaye, I'm not a fan of much white. So we're going to stain out a little bit of that whiteness right there. And then we're going to come in with a piece of line print. And I really would rather have what I've already got, but I don't think I've got it on regular paper. You know what? But I could have it up in my... Give me a second. Let me get my pouch down. That has my my Christmas kits in it. Might have some lined paper. Just gonna look real quick. You'll bear with me, and guess what? There's a piece of it right there. Now it's not as thin as I wanted it, but it's not great big thick either. So we're gonna put that right there. Yep, I'm going to cut it right and I'm going to cover the whole thing. I may not even keep the edge. All right, let's get the pencil. And it's getting dark. I may have to cut this video off and finish it in the morning, guys. Because I'm telling you, my lights do not do well on these videos. But let me cut this real quick and see what we ended up with on this. And I'm still using scraps. That's what I'm using. Scraps from every which way I can find them. Okay. That's that. I believe it's going to stick out just tiny, but not much. And we need this one to cut off right there at that line. I'll make sure I'm right. I don't want it to overgap. I don't want to lose it. So I'm better off cutting it right there. I'm going to cut it on this line here. Again, I might as well leave this thing sitting right here, hadn't I? Oh. Cut on that line. Did I use the large round or the small? Cannot remember. I'll know in a minute. I can go to large if I don't. It's the large round. So let's go back and redo that. Didn't take but a second. Let me write. Okay. And I'm going to glue this one down right here. So it gives me another little bit of a journal spot. And this one's going completely down. Okay. I need to, make sure that's going to come down like this. Pull it down like this. Alrighty, we got too much space here. Got to cut another little fraction off and then repunch those edges just a tiny bit. We'll do a tiny bit at a time. If I need to do more, we will. Let's find it. Alright, let's cut these edges again. Okay. Stain it. Not straight, guys. If you're wondering what I'm looking at, and I'm aggravated with it right a second. It just didn't cut that straight, and that's quite aggravating. But I am sometimes a perfectionist, and I can't stand it when it's not straight. I know it's a junk journal, but there's still some aesthetics I want to have. So that gives me a little bit of an area around it. You can tell something's glued on. That's fine. Okay, we're just going to glue this whole one down. we're not going to make any more pocket slips or flaps on that one. So let's just glue her down. All the way around. Glue it down. Slide it up. Okay, before we press down, we're going to flip this back over and make sure we can push it up. All right, there's that. All right, we got that done. All right, that's done. All right. Now, since we use this pretty paper here, I think on these flaps, I'm going to go with that same pretty paper if I've got enough of it. Which is right here. That piece, I got plenty, I think. All right, so I want to cut a piece here. I'm going to cover as much as I can. It doesn't matter if a little bit sticks out, but I want to cover as much of it as I can. And I have got to make sure that this is lining up across this edge here. I lost my pencil mark. That's not, oh, there it is. Well, I thought it was, but it just didn't look way too long to me. All right, right there is my pencil mark. And let's make sure it's even again. Cut it. So we've got the first one cut. We can cut 2 pieces out of this one. Yep, we can cut this thing right in half. So let's fold it, pinch it. Right there at the fold. Lay that one aside. Put this up right there where I pinched it. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's right there. I'm going to make sure we're straight on this baseline here. And that sometimes is a problem, and I don't know why. There sometimes it just doesn't. There you go. It doesn't want to lay behind the little lip that's here. And sometimes I mess up. That's that and that. So those 2 pieces are cut. And now we're going to lay them on. If they have to be trimmed, we'll trim them. But let's just go ahead and, let's go ahead and do this first. Now, if I'm going to do the corners, but I'm going to not wait. I'm going to wait to do the corner after I've got this square piece glued down. Or this rectangle glued down, guys. Cut it once. That way we're sure they balance out together. A whole lot easier. Well, it makes a whole lot more sense anyway. Okay. Now, I don't think I want a pocket or anything on these front flaps, so we're just going to go with this, just like it is. Hope my video is not getting too dark. I have got one little light I can cut on. And I will in just a second because it is already 5:20 and we may have 3 or 4 more minutes of any daylight whatsoever left. So it's getting really dark in here for me. Really, the computer is the only light that I'm getting any production from. I don't like that, but okay. So that flap is about done. Okay. All right, that's that. I'm going to come over that one a little bit. And we're going to go with this one next. And then we're going to curve our edges. Okay. And we're going to have a little bit of a white right here. It's okay. I'm going to stain that. Not a problem. Might even just put some washi tape on both edges to get rid of it. So there's that. Now let's come in with our, let that glue dry just 1 more second or 2. I'm going to press down 1 more time. Okay. Yeah, we want to round around all 4 corners on this one. And we want to use the large round, and let's just hope. And now this glue is just a little bit damp still, so it does make it hard to cut, but I'm going to be able to press through this. Do it now, because if I add too much more, it was not going to cut it. So, okay, so we got those done. Now we're going to stain down this edge one more time. And see, that doesn't even bother me now. That little bit of white that was sticking up is gone. That was gone, gone, gone with the wind. Or with the stroke of the ink, I should say. Gone with the stroke of the ink. All right, so now this is where we are so far. Okay. We got to get this flap here done. Our corners on this one. Okay, so that's done. All right, so this is our basic one. It's done. We're going to add some clip art, ephemera stuff right in the front here. I said I wasn't going to put pockets, but I may do 2 twin pockets here. If I can find 2 twin pockets to go in this spot, I may do that. We are in 45 minutes in this one. So what you can do is finish up getting your base done like we've done here. We'll cut this video tonight, and this will be what we'll finish up tomorrow morning. And I will go through the whole thing again. And in the meantime, I'm going to go look for stuff to make the ephemera that's going to go in, or to fill the pockets. So I've got to do a large journal card here, a semi-large here, and then I want to put a tag of some sort right in here. It won't be a lot because it's a lot of bulk already there, and I may not do a thing. We'll think about that. And then I'm probably going to decorate. I'm definitely going to go ahead and put something in these 2 pockets, and I may do a little bit of stamping or decorating these pages because I like a little something. It's just a little something so that it's not so bland, like a stamp right there, done that, and then maybe a stamp right there. Okay, so you got those 2. We'll just see what else we can add. I got lots and lots of stamps. I've got drawers and drawers of stamps. I buy them all the time at yard sales and things. I think on this first one, I am going to glue this down. I had not planned on it, but I think I am just going to glue this just lightly down so it stays down. That way when you flip it up, it's still good. But I just don't like the way it's flipping up. That looks good to me. Good morning, all my crafty friends. I did have to stop the video for a little while so I could do some prepping, and it's morning the next day, so I got a little bit better light. So let me go through a little bit of what I did. And continue on with this little project. This has been a little more than I thought, but that's me. When I start doing these, I just keep stacking and stacking. So that's what these are. These stacks, or really these page stacks, are really can really be something else. So here we go. We started out with the 2 wings off each side. We've got this opening here, and then our little booklet in the center that's got some pockets with I've added some ephemera. I've done some stamping on them and some coloring with my gel pens, and a little bit of ephemera in places. And we finished this line place, and I noticed on the video that doesn't show up, but that is line page there. All right. So what we've got to do today is start actually adding the final touches to the actual base. Now, I'm not sure that we'll get the cards done in this video because that will make it very long, but we're going to start. Anyway, we're going to add, first of all, I'm going to add a little strip of lace here. Not a lot and not hanging over a lot, but just something to give it a little decorative look. Of course, we're going to our go-to fabric glue, which is my Fabri-Tac, if it will. It's getting low. I'm going to have to order some more. Like I said, I'm going to try not to order any supplies except glue this whole year. Now, that's what I say. It doesn't mean I can follow through, because I am the world's worst for seeing something think I've got to have that. So I hope I don't see any ads on any new crazes other than my laser printer I'm getting ready to get. Let's lay this down so we can make sure that it is going to show up a little bit over the edge, right there in the middle. I'm going to try to make it as straight as possible. And sometimes I don't always see real straight. Pull it up a little. Now, that looks nice. Just gives it a little decorative touch. That front was looking rather bland to me. And cut the excess off. My scissors are all getting dull. I've got to go find my scissor sharpener. I've got one somewhere. All right, next step. We're going to actually put ties on here, string ties here and here to wrap around. So I've got these ready, and what I did was punch out of this paper too and just glue them back to back to make them a little bit stronger. I've got some brads, I guess that's what these are called, brads. And we need this, I don't know if I like the green or the pink. I kind of like the offset of the green. Let me look at the pink on it. Nah, sticking with my pink. I could do a pink and a green. It's always decisions. That's the hardest part about doing these journals for me, is all these decisions I have to make. Okay, let's find out where we're going to put the ties. And I got to kind of get an idea because I've got my 2 pockets for the front. And I have a little something sticking out of them. So we want our tie to be high enough up that it doesn't interfere with what's going in there. So I'm going about there with it. So my little punchy tool here. And I wish that I had thought about doing this before I put my paper on the back side, but you always realize things after you've got it done. And these things are so tiny, I have a hard time pushing them through. So bear with me as I struggle with this. And I'm telling you, it's going to give me a hard time. There it goes. It's all a matter of getting it held right or getting the hole big enough to get it started. That's my problem, I think, this morning, is I don't think I got my hole big enough to get the edge in. And see, it's already trying to split a little. All right, come on through. And you know, it's funny. It's funny because when I started that late last night, after I had cut the first part of the video off to do a little bit of this prep work, things just went real smooth. It never fails, but I get on this video and then things are just so difficult at times, okay? And like I say, if I had thought well enough ahead, and I should have, I would have put this brad on before I put this paper flap down. But it's not going to hurt a thing. I'm going to actually put a piece of washi tape or maybe just a small piece of clipboard. All right. Let's get this one measured in. About the same. About the same distance over. Punchy tool. Punch the hole. We'll get it started. My hole started with a punchy tool. All right. I hope that's in the center. It was close last night, I think. I'm hoping that went a whole lot easier. Isn't that something? How one won't and one will. All right, they're small though, so we got to remember to put a little bit of something right there. We'll do that in the final touches of putting text there. And it's really so small, it's not even all that noticeable. But I'd rather be nice and finished. Okay. I don't think I want to, I probably do need to put a little more Fabri-Tac down. That's a little loose. This Fabri-Tac really wants to be. When it gets this low in the bottle, it really starts being really slow and complicated. But if you work with any of it, you guys know. But this is my go-to glue when it comes to lace and things like that. I just feel like it just does a better job. But I really don't even know if I've got any under there. Cannot see it. But I believe we did. Put it up for now. I'll be glad when my husband makes me my little stand so I can stand upside down. But for the meantime, we'll kind of prop it over there. All right, grab this out. It's a little chilly this morning. It's like 6:30 in the morning. I'm gonna swallow my coffee so I won't be so raspy. I'm gonna have my coffee first thing in the morning. All right, so we've got the 2 discs up there. That's our tie-offs. Now we're gonna try to get these pockets in place. And yeah, I did prep a little bit of this last night, so I get an idea of where we were going with this, so we wouldn't carry this video to be so long. And I have said that in many of my videos, the prep work is key. If you can get a lot of prep work done ahead of time, get an idea what your project is supposed to consist of, the elements that you need, get those done ahead, and then when you start putting your project together, it goes a lot smoother. However, if you're a crafter like me, sometimes what you plan and sometimes what you end up with are not always one and the same. This pocket looks like it's going to be a little too large, and we don't want it to hang over that edge, even though I don't really want to cut. Well, you know what? You can lay over the lace. I really don't see that it's going to hurt laying over the lace a little bit. Let's pull it up this way. You know what? That doesn't. Well, I'm going to try to pull it up and see what happens. I just barely got it laid down, so let's just see if we can pull it up and lay. Aha, that works. All right, see, there you go. And it's not going to interfere. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to slide it up underneath that lace a little bit, and then we'll glue it down again a little bit. I hope everybody's getting their January kicked off with a good start. I'm trying. My business is still running really, really slow, but I'm not organized well enough yet to worry about it too much. And then I do have a major surgery coming up in April. So it's going to slow down just prior to the spring. Because the doctor says I'll be out of commission about 6 to 12 weeks, depending on how well I heal. I'm having a reconstructive surgery. My bladder has prolapsed, and not that it's bothering me, but I guess he just feels like it's getting to the point we need to do it. But anyway, that's part of growing older. All right, guys, this is what I've got. I'm not going to put the string on right now. We're going to go and work on the inside a little bit. My plan is a pocket here and a pocket here. So we're going to go ahead and get those glued down. And I went ahead and made those again last night when we were working. I've gone ahead and inked them up, just so when I got back with you guys today, we could just jump on this and get this little part of the project finished. And then the next video will be doing the elements that we're going to go inside all these pockets and flips and turns that we've done. Okay, so that one's down. I measured it, made sure it was kind of centered on that flap or wing, whichever one you want to call it. Flat wing, I don't know. That is, like I say, the hardest part of doing these is naming what we're doing so I can explain to you. Kate Moore was funny when she does. She said, them thingamajiggies, yeah, that's just what they are. She called a flip-flop, whatever thingamajigger. Yep, she has the same issue, naming your projects. I just do them. I don't really have a name for them. I know this is a pocket, but is this a wing? Is this a flap? Is it a gate? This is definitely a gatefold. That's definitely what it's a gatefold page stack, definitely. And that's probably what we'll call this, a gatefold page stack. That was a good name. Okay, now this here is too bland for me. Just me. We're going to be able to put a piece of clip art here, and that's going to set that off with the pocket. We'll have little tags. So what I did is I made another pocket for right here. And you may be saying, what is that? Well, just ignore that little swing tag right there. Just ignore it a few minutes. Let's go into here and get this put on. We're going to have cards sticking out here. So I am going almost all the way over to this edge. And again, it's only on 3 sides. We're going to glue the 3 sides. And I probably need to put just a little something over this. This is where that little swing fold is. I've got all these little tags. It's not going to be seen, so I'm just going to stick this little one right here over it. Just kind of as a precaution. Hopefully that it doesn't rip through my pocket. That's all that's there for. Just a little precaution. You're never going to see it. Oh, and I think I would rather have that side, but that's okay. We've already got it now. This is the side we're going with. Okay. I'll lay that down like that. I'm going to go just a tiny bit closer to this edge. I want some space here. Just to get it straight. Okay, so we've got that pocket down. We'll have a really nice, either one whole card that slides in there or a couple little things. Okay, and then we've got, again, like I say, when you start stacking these, it just gets to be stack, stack, stack. But I made this little journaling spot to go right there. So this is going to get glued down right here along this edge, right there, like so. So we're going to glue this whole thing here down. And this particular journal will have a lot of these journaling spots like this that flip out and fold out where you can do a lot of writing. That's how I planned this one. I wanted to have a lot of writing spaces. All right, so I'm kind of centering this in on that page right there. Gotta get it off my tag. Pull it up again. I make sure it's not overlapping on my tag, my decorative tag there. I want it to be beside it, not on top of it. All right, we'll go under it some then. How about that? All right, now the purpose of my swing tag here is so I'm going to pull it up again, guys. It is still wanting to lay up on it, and it can't. It's got to lay beside it. So I'm going to glue again. I'm glad that glue let me pull it up because it don't normally. I'm going to try one more time to make sure we're not over that. I'll make sure I'm not over that either. And I think that's what I planned last night for it, come forward that way. There we go. All right. There's my journaling spot. It will pull out this way and pull out this way. And this is put here to hold it down. And I'm still thinking maybe I'd rather turn it this way. Fairy Arts Fluid being nice to me today and let me adjust a little bit. It doesn't normally. There we go. That is the way we want it. Okay, let's press it. This time it's not going to come up again. I know it now. All right, there's that. Swing tag goes over that to hold it shut until you're ready to open that up. That's how that works. All right, so we've got it there, there, and there. Almost, guys, almost, other than the filling up the pockets. Now, we come to this part, and I had worked on this last night. We did this together, and we're going back and I added some stamping and some inking. I used my gel pens to do some of my own inking and my own art. And I've added some clip art on it, and that's where that is. We've got a pocket here. We've got a pocket here. Still making a decision whether I want to slide anything in that one or not. We've got a pocket here. So that's how that looks. I still did not like the blankness of this, so I made this out of that beautiful foil paper. And I'm going to stick that right there, and it's another journaling spot that's going to open here. And I don't think we're going to do anything fancy with that, but I am only going to glue the very back piece on 3 sides. That doesn't mean I'm going to put anything in it, but it's going to be a pocket available if I decide I want it to be another pocket on this side here. So we're going to slide it in here like this. Make sure it's going to close with no problem. Press down, okay. So if we decide we want a pocket, there will be a pocket right there. Try to make sure this glue is grabbing think this cold weather is giving it just a little bit of resistance. All right, so let that dry. So there's that. That's where we are. So let's go over this gatefold page stack. Got here. Got to go find our string. Give me just a minute. We'll cut off a second. Go grab some string. So I'm going to decide which one we want. I've got this really shiny, stretchy right here. I don't know where it starts coming off at, but I kind of like that. And then I've got these little teeny ones. I'm not sure where this comes from. It's bound to be Michael's last Valentine's. And, you know, that's what I do after a holiday season. Usually I go into Michael's and grab little things like this that they've run 50 to 75% off. I didn't do that for Christmas this year. And I really should have, because I really don't have a lot of Christmas, but I know it's too late now. So, all right, so I got that one, and I got the stretchy, cute one. And I think I like this pink. I don't know. This is shiny and cute, but I don't think it's what I want. So I'm going to go with this pink string right here. Okay, grabbing that coffee. All right, so let's pull off a strand of it. First piece is going to go up under there. I don't know if I want to dangle or not. All right, just tie a knot here on this side, then come back around, and I'm going to tie a knot on that side. That way I don't get it quite so bulky. And then once I get this done, I got one more little thing I do. I'm going to go ahead and pull that up to the brad. And then I'm going to come up under here with the glue. I'm going to glue right on top of that string a little bit. I'm going to pull it again one more time. Okay. Just be careful and don't put your glue way out here. You just want it really close to the brad. And that's just to seal that. And then I'm going to come in. I wish I knew where my little snips were, but I don't see them. These are probably too bulky, but we'll go. It's pretty much got it out. Okay, so there's that. And then all you're going to do is, I usually do a figure 8. You can wrap it how you want. I do the figure 8 of mine. And I usually wrap it like 2 or 3 times. And then I always usually leave a little bit of a dangle here, so I can put a charm or something on it. So we're going to leave it kind of long today, and then we'll get a charm on it, whatever. Okay? So that's done. That's done. Okay. So we're exactly somewhere close to an hour on this whole project between the two, last night and this morning. And I'm going to I think that I'm not going to try to build the pieces here. Well, I do want to do this. I do want to finalize that. Excuse me, I should have done that first. And I don't know what I want to put there, though. And I don't know if I have anything small enough in this group of stuff here that I think it's going to work. I want it really to stay really flat, and that's just too big to me. And if I do a flower, I will need to cut off some of it, because these are great, big, fussy cuts. But, all right, I'm just going to think about this, guys. And this is something you need to do, too. If there's any more decorating, like on this piece, if you want to do a stamp, the heart stamp again would be cute in this corner. And since I mentioned it, I'm going to go ahead and do that one. That one's easy enough to do. And I am not the best stamper in the world, so sometimes my stamping just don't turn out right. But I like that. Remember, this is your swing tag, so that it holds it down. You can do that in a lot of places. You could actually do this one, but I see no need, because this is going to be closed flat. So this flap needs to be known to be open, and that one's not going to bother me. It's going to lay pretty flat. we're going to have a tag here, and we're going to try to put some kind of little piece of clip art there. You know, I probably am going to stamp these onto another piece of paper and cover it. I might even stamp it on the line print and just cut me out a piece. That's probably, and let me show you how to do that. While I mentioned that might be what I do. The problem is I got to find another piece of that the same piece, and I should have one small piece. Even if I don't, I got this one. It's close. Now that would very definitely stand out. Let me look right quick and see if there's a piece. Yep, there's a piece of it. I think this is what we're going to do. This is always a little alternative if you just don't have what you want. This is an alternative, especially since I've used the stamp so many times in this book. I'm going to stamp a couple of those, and that's what's going to cover my tags on both sides. I'll make them both look the same. This is out of the 110-pound cardstock, so it's got a little bit of form to it. And I'm just going to fussy cut it just a little. That's one done. There's two done. All right, so that was simple enough. All right, let's get that covered. And then that's going to be a wrap for this particular gatefold page stack. That's covered that up. I'm going to take my end of my blade here and press down. And what I'm trying to do is make sure that brad is pressed as tight as I can press it flat against this back. And put this other one down. I put not much glue on it. And I'm going to put it in the same spot. So that covered that up. And it looks quite nice. Those are cute. Looks good. Let's bring it up so you can see it. There you go. All right, so our gatefold page stack is done, other than adding the elements, card elements, and the tag elements, which we will do in another quick video. As a matter of fact, in the next video, I will probably just grab scraps and make a bunch of things that's going to go in it, because every pocket in here I cut to fit. So I'm going to have to actually make tags to fit, because it's not likely that I've got pre-made tags that's going to fit these small spots. So next video, that's what we're going to do. We're going to make tags. So we'll be making 1, 2, 3, 4 thin, small, tall tags. We'll be making a journal card or a nesting of cards to go here. We're going to possibly make a card that's going to slide in there, or a hidden writing area, which is more likely that I'll slide some journaling pages in there. We are going to make a rather like a medium-sized card to go in there. It's going to have a pull tab. Going to have a card here with a pull tab, and I believe that's it, guys. So let's call this a wrap. We're going to go through it one more time. We have the gatefold on the front with the lace down it, 2 pockets on the front. It opens this way, like this. You got 2 pockets on each side. You have a pocket here. This flips up. Then you've got a journaling spot on both sides. This holds it down, opens up. You've got a journaling spot here with a secret pocket there. You've got a secret pocket right here if we want to slide some more journaling paper into there. And I'll show you what I mean when we do the next video. A medium-sized journal card here with a pull tab. A large journal card here with possibly a pull tab. And I think the pockets on the top. That's it, guys. I believe that's it. So this is Nana Kaye signing off for now. This is our, again, we are going to call this our gatefold page stack on our first signature. And this signature is looking really nice. We've got the front done and the back. This is what it's going to look in the book. I may go in and put a swing tab here to hold this down. That's a possibility. And we're going to start with the center after we do the video to finish this one. So it's Nana Kaye saying goodbye. Hope you had a great day. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please subscribe below if you have not. Please follow me. Please look at my videos all the way through. It helps, and make a comment. Making comments also shows that YouTube that you're interested in what I'm doing, and that way they will show me more often in the front lineups of the pages when people click on making journals. So thanks for all your participation in 2023. Let's get 2024 started with a whole lot of fun. So we're going to finish our project hopefully in just a few, maybe a week or so. Let's hope that I can really gear up and get this whole journal done in about a week. We're going to make that our goal. Bye-bye. Have a good day.